Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World. This is the Recruitment Report, and our target today is a real fascinating one. Charlie Crew. Could he be the answer to Cardiff's number 6 problems? Could he be the solution? Could he be the glue that knits it all together? We are going to take a deep dive into this Welsh midfield gem, and could he return to the club where it all began, on loan? Welcome back to the channel, guys, and of course this is where analysis meets ambition. This is the recruitment report, and today we are going to take a deep dive into one of the most exciting young Welsh midfielders out there. He is Charlie Crew. Can this former Cardiff City Academy prodigy be the one to bring balance, bit of bite and quality to Brian Barry Murphy's midfield? We shall find out. So where we start, of course, is who is Charlie Crew? Well, Charlie Crew, born 8th June 2006, my God, I'm old, is an intelligent, composed central midfielder. Came through the ranks at Cardiff City before making a big move to Leeds United in 2022. That move, make no mistake, was a massive blow to Cardiff at the time. Massive. Losing a midfield prospect of that calibre was a painful thing. Both from a football point of view, of course, his quality, but also from a cultural point of view, losing him to Leeds, which is historically a bit of a rival to the club. He's captained Wales at under 17 level. He's trained with the Leeds senior squad. He's played for Leeds. He's earned a senior Welsh call-up as well, despite being a teenager. But what do the stats and the data tell us? Well, if we get into the numbers, and we use FBref, FootMob and SofaScore for these as always, and we try to paint a picture of Crew's development at Leeds and on his loans. In 2023-24 season, for the Leeds under 21s, he made 29 appearances, 2,224 minutes, 3 goals, 5 assists, with a pass completion rate of 85.2%. A progressive pass per 90 over the season of 7.91. It's very, very high. Tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes, 4.27, and he won 58% of his duels with an average of 77 touches per 90 minutes. His average SofaScore rating for that season was 7.21. Now look, yes, it's in the 21s league. Yes, there's a big step up. But this was also a couple of years ago. Those stats reflect a player that's deeply involved in a possession, above average defensive output, and an absolute eye for forward momentum and progressive passing and carrying. Very, very important for a number 6, a ball playing number 6 at that. When we talk about his playing style, it's interesting, right? Because I'm looking at him as a possible number 6, but I would reckon a lot of coaches these days, behind the scenes at least, would probably call him like an 8.5. He's like a hybrid between your box-to-box number 8 and a deep line playmaker stroke number 6. I like him, and I think he can be Cardiff's kind of Frankie de Jong, like a ball-playing number 6 who can carry the ball, can play through the lines, but who can also read the game really well and break up play. And I think it's important that Cardiff this season have 2 options at number 6. One being someone like this, who's a bit more of a progressive player who can read the game and break up play that way. And then I think we also need a really athletic, aggressive, mobile number 6. And having those 2 options will be very, very important to how we wish to play. Of course, we shall see. We shall see. But let's look at some of those traits. He's excellent at receiving the ball under pressure. He's super press resistant, Charlie Crew is. And it's that press resistance which will tide him really well in this sort of position. He scans consistently and constantly before receiving the ball, but also as he's moving around the pitch. So he's always got a picture. And as that picture changes, he continues to evolve and see what others don't. He's very good at the first time passes, whether that's little bounce balls, receiving it from defenders, popping it off to the fullback, popping it around the corner, or indeed a switch play, diagonals in behind. He is very good at it. If he is playing in a bit more of a number 8 role, those third man runs he's very, very good at as well. It's particularly in that final third and running beyond the lines. That's something that he's very, very capable of. And I think one of the reasons I like him as a number 6 is he's good with the old tactical foul. You know, if the team's out of shape or we lose possession in the transition, take a foul, but without getting booked. The more you can do that, it's a real skill. And he's also got a strong understanding of playing different positions. He plays as an 8, he plays as a 6, and I'm sure he could play a whole host of other roles if needed to as well. But let's talk about his mentality, his leadership and his background. We want to try to build as big a profile of these players, both on and off the pitch, as we can. At just 17, Crew had already captained Wales at youth level, had been praised for his character, his maturity and his coachability. According to some of the Leeds youth staff interviews in The Athletic and Wales Online, Crew leads by example in training, doesn't shy away from responsibility, is described as a model professional, but he's also, of course, a Cardiff boy. He knows what it means to be a Bluebird. He knows what it's like to love this club. He was part of the academy until he was 15, 16. His family, I think, are still based in Wales, although I'm not sure about that. He's clearly got an emotional connection to the football club. And let's talk a little bit about why losing him was such a big blow. Well, back in 2022, Cardiff's academy had started to re-emerge. It was the beginning. We had some real talented players, and some of those have progressed through, and some of them have gone on to other things, like Charlie Crew and Biancheri and some others. After a few years in the wilderness, that Cardiff's academy had started to look better, and Charlie Crew was a central figure in that. His departure to Leeds was, of course, understandable in one way, but it was a real gut blow, real gut punch. He was seen as the future of Cardiff's midfield, a midfield general, someone who could play for the club for years to come. His exit symbolised Cardiff's inability at the time to protect and promote their best young talent into the first team. And whilst I think that's got better in the last year or two, I think it's an ongoing issue. We have to find a way to get these highly talented youngsters into the first team squad, into the first team playing. If we were to get him on loan, where does he fit in Brian Barry Murphy's Cardiff? Well, let's look at what Brian Barry Murphy wants. He wants controlled possession. He wants lots of rotational midfield play. He wants to be playing through the thirds. He wants intelligent pressing, but he wants calmness on the ball in amongst the chaos of a midfield battle. This suits Charlie Crew like a glove. In Brian Barry Murphy's 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, 3-2-5 structure in possession, like Crew can literally play as a left or right sided 8. He could play as a 6. He could play as that single pivot. Will help build from deep. Will help recycle the ball. Will help move the ball quickly on 1 and 2 touch. He offers control under pressure, positional discipline and understanding, tempo setting ability, and that's a massive thing, is having someone who can set the tempo, who can help the team control, keep the ball, and then break the lines, play the switch ball, play the diagonal or the through ball at the right time, cutting open the opposition. Why do Cardiff need a player like Charlie Crew? Well, I'm going to be blunt with you, right? What we've lacked in recent years is glaring, but let's go through it. We haven't had a midfielder who can control the tempo. We haven't got lots of press-resistant midfielders. We've got a couple, but we haven't got loads. We haven't got lots of composed ball carriers. I think that's something which Sivert Mansberg really added to the team, was someone who could pick it up in that sort of number 6 position and carry the ball. Having young leaders is important, I think, in the team, But having young leaders who've got tactical clarity and understand the job at hand, that's massive. Charlie Crew ticks all those boxes and then some. Having him as your 6 will allow freedom to your Ruben Colwell, your Alex Robertson, Joel Colwell maybe even. You can slot him into a double pivot. You can rotate with others if you've got that more athletic, aggressive number 6. And you can even have him be a bit of a midfield metronome for Barry Murphy's build-up phases. It feels like a no-brainer. Whether the club can get it over the line is another thing. In regards to his in-game role and tactical fit, as I say, look at it like this, right? The centre-backs split. The full-back, one tucks in, one goes wide. Crew drops in to make it a 3-2 shape. He drops deep, receives the ball under pressure. He can carry it, he can flip it around the corner, he can pop it off to a full-back. He has that first-time pass ability in the half space, and I think he's so intelligent on and off the ball that it makes it really, really simple to see how he fits in. And if you think of it, like, he receives the ball in that 3-2 shape at the back, pops a little ball to the fullback, up, back and through to the winger, to a Ruben Colwell or Alex Robertson, to the wingers. You get it down the left channel. Like, it's easy to see how you could pin teams back and keep hold of the ball, but Charlie Crew is that link, is that glue, and it's the calm amongst the chaos and pressure, the calm in the storm as you are playing out from the back, as teams try to press you and try to pinch the ball off you. You need ball players, you need players who can do that. I wanted to add some other context to Charlie Crew as well. So he had a loan spell at Doncaster Rovers last year. I think he joined in January 2025. League 2 football, real proper senior football. Going to get battered about a little bit. I think 13 league appearances, 10 starts, 3 off the bench, and an FA Cup start. And when you look at those stats and metrics off FBref and SofaScore, he had an average SofaScore of just under 7 out of 10. Pretty good for a young man. He had a pass completion rate over those sort of 13 games or so of 87%. So he looks after the ball. Progressive passes per 90, 5 a game. Progressive carries per 90, 1.9 a game. So basically 2. Tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes, 4.1. Pressures per 90, 16.4. Dual success rate, 60%. Errors leading to a shot, 0. That tells a story. This lad does not give the ball away. He has got positional security where very few errors, and he's got excellent spatial awareness. He's efficient under pressure. He's got that high pass completion despite being under pressure and playing in tight spaces, but he also has the ability to make those passes count, break the lines and play off 1 or 2 touches. His defensive work rate is excellent. He's really good at winning the ball back. He's a high pressure player and volume, lots of pressing, reads the game well. He's adaptable. He can play as a single pivot in a midfield 2, and he can also play as a more advanced number 8 as well. When you look at it, he had a few standout performances. There was one, I think, against Accrington Stanley where he had 8 recoveries, 92% pass completion. I think the manager praised him for having unusual maturity or something like that. I forget the exact quote, but like, he reads the game as if he's 25 was basically it, and like he's 18. But he looked alright in the physical, demanding League 2 division. And look, of course there's room for growth with Charlie Crew, yeah? He's still raw, he's young. He needs to probably add some goals to his game. He needs to add a bit more physical aspect to his game for those full 90-minute midfield battles. He needs to continue working on that leadership that he's already shown to take that into the future. But I mean, technically, tactically and mentally, he's well ahead of most players his age. Let's sort of round off a little bit on like his personality, his professionalism, and Wales a little bit as well. I think he's been part of a senior squad. He's considered by the FAW as a future leader, probably a future captain. Everything about his personality screams professional, no ego, all work. Just wants to get better, and he is already one of the best technical players for his age. So what can Cardiff do next? I mean, look, I'd be amazed if Leeds are going to sell him, of course. But I think they will put him out on loan this year. But only to a club that's going to look to play good football, has a very defined identity, and guarantees him minutes. I think under Brian Barry Murphy, Cardiff are a perfect fit there. And look, sentimentally, be a huge moment for the academy, for his family, for him, for the fans, and everyone involved. Of course it would. Charlie Crew is no longer a youth prodigy who's maybe going to be a baller in the future. This is a young professional who's earned his stripes. He's done his League 2 loan. He's already had a bit of Welsh recognition. He's played in all the development teams at Wales level. He's done it at Leeds as under 21s. The numbers back it up. The eye test backs it up. And the system under Brian Barry Murphy, it looks like it needs a midfielder just like him. So my message is simple. Bring Charlie Crew home. But I want to know what you guys think. Make sure you let me know. Would you bring Charlie Crew in on loan? And if you did, would you still look for that more physically aggressive, mobile, athletics number 6? So you had the kind of 2, or would you rely on Charlie Crew and Eli King to be your 2 number 6s? I think that's a bit of a risk, but that remains to be seen with Eli King. Would you bring Charlie Crew in? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. All that good stuff is really important. I don't want just yeses and nos. I want you to tell me your opinion and why. If you can't become a member, please do. Helps us make content 7 days a week. Most days, twice a day, we're putting out content now. Never mind the members content and stuff like that. If you haven't already, check out the video we did yesterday. We did one on Alex Robertson and Ruben Colwell under Brian Barry Murphy. We did one on the left back situation. We did one on Monday. We had one about the captaincy. Forget what the other one was. Eli King, I think. We've had loads of videos. We had the Breakdown podcast Sunday. Tonight we have an exclusive sit down with Cohen Griffith, former Cardiff City winger and midfielder, absolute hero of a guy. It's something a bit different. I went to his house, I sat down, I had a cup of tea, spent a few hours with him, and we had a good old chat. I like it. I love the way it looks. I like it. It just feels like something different. And Cohen was one of my first heroes at Cardiff, so it was a real thrill to just sit there and chat to him. Like, I know him quite well anyway, but like to just go up there and just chill. It was cool. It was a real cool moment. Let me know what you think of that later as well. Make sure you check it out, please. We're doing really well at the moment. We have set ourselves a probably target which is probably out of reach, but we're going to set it anyway. We currently have just under 1.5 thousand subscribers. We want to get 500 more subscribers by the start of the season. Help us out. Share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell your friends. Get them to subscribe. Get them to join the community. And Cardiff City World, 7 days a week. What can I say? We are Cardiff non-stop. By fans, for fans, in a bit. Oh, don't forget, keep the